The heck? Not this again.
Bad iPad disconnected. Connected to Rocus pad and bad iPad. Battery full. Connected. Bad iPad.
Well, is anybody out there? Is there anybody out there? I don't know if anybody's out there or not. But if there is, hey, I guess Jolie's on, huh? Or was. So here I am. This is the beautiful spot. I am actually getting unloaded. I'm actually in a place. It's kind of an unusual place. Here's me, vaccinated. This isn't really a traditional loading dock. It's kind of weird. They're gonna have to help me guide me out. I had to pull straight in. There's no like loading dock, and it's gonna be a tricky one. They're gonna have to guide me out of the, I have to back out onto the street. So they're gonna, I told them that we need help, so they're gonna help me. But so here I am in San Bernardino. I got here today. I got here 8 o'clock this morning or whatever, 8:30 I guess it was. And it's gonna take a while because they don't, like I said, they don't have like a regular loading dock, so they have to have people up in the trailer with pallet jacks, or I only need one pallet jack, and then they roll it back to the end, and then the guy with the forklift can grab it and pull it off of there. So it's probably gonna take a couple hours. But here I am. I'm in San Bernardino today, and let's see, it's kind of washed out, isn't it? But this is my view from the back dock area. You could see the nice pallets. Isn't that beautiful? And that street out there is Tippecanoe Avenue. And the cross street I'm on was Orange Show, or San Bernardino, I guess. And it's not too bad. It's going to be warm today. There's no clouds at all in the sky. A little bit of haze towards the mountains there, but not too bad so far. Not sure what the temperature is supposed to be, if we're going to hit 100 a day or what. Check my weather report here real quick. So it says it's supposed to get to 97 today. Right now it's 79 degrees and sunny. And so we're gonna hit 97. It's a warm day. It's warm. At least it's, any day where you can be under 100, I feel is a victory. You know. Anyhow, so I'm just gonna wait for him. I'll see if that'll help at all a little bit. So it's not a big glare. But so yeah, I'm in San Bernardino, getting this load done, and I'll be out of here. Yeah, it's gorgeous blue pallets. And then I'm going to be picking up a load out of here, out of this area. It's actually in our yard. It's going to be what they call a drop, or it's a relay. So another driver has dropped it off. It's at a Schneider yard. And I'm going to pick that up and just take it up to Henderson, which is near Vegas, which is near where I live. And then I'm going to take a few days off and come back down here and meet the kids, my kids who are not little kids anymore, but they're in their early 20s. And we're going to spend the weekend together and go to see a Dodger game on Monday, which is the 4th, and go see the fireworks night at Dodger Stadium. And I was thinking about going to Disneyland. I guess I was reading up where you can't just go and get tickets there. You have to get them ahead of time. So maybe it's too late. I don't know. I'll have to look into that. I'm always like procrastinating, but I think you have to order your tickets before you go down there. I don't know. So I'll look into that today, I guess. Hopefully it's not too late to get tickets, but anyhow, we'll figure something out. And so I thought I'd do a show from this loading dock. I might have to shut down real quick if if all of a sudden they're done, but I'm not even sure if they pulled anything out yet. I can feel the trailer rocking back and forth a little bit. So they're in the trailer. I'm just looking in my mirror. I don't think they pulled anything out yet. And there's about, how many pallets is there? There's 44 pallets. So I might be here a while. I'm gonna pull them out one at a time. So anywho, I guess what should we talk about? We could talk about the hearings. I thought it was pretty amazing. Cassidy Hutcherson, I thought that was pretty amazing testimony. I just heard this guy's. See what's going on here.
I have no change at all. Not till tonight.
So anyhow, so that was pretty amazing just to hear it. There's a lot of stuff we knew, we kind of already knew, but to hear it from a person who was right there, had an office right next to Trump. Obviously, Trump knew who she was, and he always does the thing where I don't even know who this person is. I barely know her. He's such an idiot. He is such a turd, big orange turd. But it's ridiculous. He knew what was going on. He knew exactly that there were people there that were armed. He wanted them armed. He wanted to make a big bloody mess of everything. He wanted it to be such a shit show going on that he could swoop in and declare martial law and just shut everything down and just make himself the president, long enough to get Congress to capitulate and make him the president, officially. People don't see it. They don't see what a criminal he is. And he's always been a criminal. I mean, we've known this. Anyone who's my age, or even if you're in your 40s or 50s, and certainly people older than me, we've all known, ever since the 80s, we've all known Trump. He's always been in the tabloids and on the gossip shows, and it was always for, his messy weddings and messy divorces, and he was the billionaire, at Studio 54, and he filed bankruptcy. All that stuff made the news, and we all knew that this guy was just kind of a dirtbag of a guy, but we didn't really care because he wasn't president, he wasn't a politician, he was just some New York City rich dude who was an asshole. And then when he had I remember when The Apprentice first came on. Hey, Kinky Streets, how's this going? When I remember seeing promos for this new show, right? And they didn't. The big reveal was like who was the boss, or who's going to be like the host of the show, and they wouldn't show who it was. And then finally, the final promo, it was like there was like a private jet or something, I think I remember, and then a limo, a big stretch limo pulls up, and then it's like these dark tinted windows, and the window goes down, and it's Donald Trump. And I remember being so let down, like, oh my God, this is what the big thing was, like the big reveal of who was going to be in this new show. Donald Trump, really? What a joke. And I remember instantly losing any interest in watching that show. And I never did watch it. I mean, I think I saw a few. I may have watched an episode or two at first just to check it out. And it was really stupid and idiotic. And I never watched it after that. I think I saw some clips here and there as the years went by. So then when he announced that he was going to run in 2015, I thought it was a joke. The guy's a joke, man. And here we are, all these years later, stuck with this motherfucker. I mean, he won't go away. He won't go away, man. One way or the other. I mean, I guess he's gonna just keep bilking his MAGA followers for every nickel and dime he can, for as long as he can. And he's gonna ride that horse. And I would say, I'm tempted to say, fine, let him do that. Let him bilk those people. But then, I kind of had that attitude in 2015, like, he ain't gonna win. And then he kept winning his primaries, and I thought for sure, Hillary had it in the bag, and all the polling suggested that. If you remember the polling, it was like a 99% sure thing that Hillary was going to win, And then, of course, with a little help from our Russian friends, and with what was the guy? His campaign manager was giving the Russians all their internal polling information, and they were micro-targeting, Wisconsin and Michigan and Ohio and Pennsylvania and all these states, and all they needed to do was influence enough people, 20,000 here, 30,000 here, and bammo, whammo, we get stuck with this clown for 4 years, and now he still won't go away. It's like, motherfucker, you lost. Joe Biden kicked your ass. Get the fuck out. but people want to believe that big lie, and I'm hoping that these hearings are turning some people around. You know, enlightening some people to see that he knew it was a big lie, and he was doing everything he could to keep that big lie going and to rile up his followers and get these white nationalist groups going. He had the backing of the Proud Boys and the Oath Keepers and stuff like that. So, what I would like to see, I'd like to see the guy go to jail, go to prison for the rest of his life. But I don't know if that's ever going to happen. But and then we have to watch out for the next one. Is it going to be DeSantis or whoever the Republicans put up? It's going to be probably someone even worse than Trump. So yeah. But I am eager to vote in November, and I think a lot of people are. I think these hearings are helping a little bit, but the overturning of Roe v. Wade is definitely, I think, going to get a lot of really angry women and a lot of men. I mean, this affects all of us. I can't wait to vote in November. I'm going to be voting blue no matter who. And I know a lot of people they don't like that blue no matter who expression, because they'll say, oh, that's like you're not very independent. You're just going along with it. But the emphasis on that is it's to emphasize the importance of getting majorities in Congress, and that's in the U.S. Congress and in the state legislatures also. I mean, it's important to have those majorities. Otherwise, nothing will get done, at all. I mean, people want to complain about these know nothing or do nothing Congress and stuff like that. It's even worse when Mitch McConnell's in charge. Is even worse. So every little bit helps. If we can pick up a seat here, pick up a seat there, get out of these margins. We're in these really razor thin margins in both the House and the Senate. So yeah, vote blue no matter who, because it's important. It's important to get those numbers, and then maybe we can do things like expand the court. Maybe we can get rid of the filibuster, which I think we should. Maybe someday, if we have enough of a majority, we could actually change the Constitution and get rid of the Electoral College. But I mean that's down the road. But those are things that should be worked on, and I think I probably shouldn't question Joe Biden, because it seems like he does stuff and I question it, and then it turns out to be probably a pretty good decision. So I think Joe is pretty smart, but he's saying, like, he comes out and says he's not in favor of expanding the court. And then I know Hal has explained how, all the sort of pitfalls of that, and that, or of rushing into that. But I think, I think you could say you were in favor of it, and maybe, but say that, like, right now isn't the time, or even if you could get it in motion, even though it's not going to happen for a long time. Like, well after the election, the midterms, right? Because it seems like, and Hal mentioned it too. Like, if you need to be motivated, or if you need I don't know, something to get you to vote, then yeah. And he said you were a special interest, like, you're not part of the base, and so I think Joe Biden and the Democratic leaders and everything would be smart to, I don't know, put things out there that would motivate people, you know. And I think expanding the court is a motivator. I like the idea of expanding the court from 9 to 13. And I think it's something we should do. And I would love to see. I would love to see, and there, like an open LGBTQ person on the high court. You know, I would love to see an atheist or an agnostic on the Supreme Court. I would love to see a Muslim on the Supreme Court. I would love to see a Native American on the Supreme Court. I mean, I think we need to. The court should, I think, kind of reflect the diversity of the country, right? I don't think we need any more Catholics. I think we've got plenty of Catholics. They're represented. I think we have a couple of Jewish people on there, and we've had Jewish people before, so I think we're good there. We have people of color on there. We have women. Let's get some other groups in there. Like I said, LGBTQ plus, Muslim, atheists or agnostics. It doesn't have to just be all Catholics. So, if we're going to expand, I would hope that that would be taken into consideration also, to start getting other representation, I guess, is a way. I got a message on my thing here. What to say? It says I got a message from Schneider. And it's about Operation Safe Driver will take place July 10th through the 16th. Ooh, the focus is speeding. However, officers will also look for other unsafe behaviors such as cell phone use, lane violations, failure to obey traffic control devices, and following too closely. As always, continue to practice safe driving habits. Wear your seatbelt and utilize smart defensive driving principles. So they're just giving us a heads up. All of the state DOT offices, their officers, their state troopers, CHP here in California, all that kind of thing. They're going to be doing an extra little thing here, looking at drivers for those things, and it's July 10th to the 16th. So, but I'm usually pretty good at that kind of stuff, so I don't have to worry too much about it. But I mean, we should always be focused up and driving safe. So drive safe out there, drivers. For God's sakes. Like yesterday, I was coming down, and it's just like drivers. I think they drive too fast, man. Maybe I'm just an old slow guy, but I'm driving along, and guys are always passing me and getting all pissed off and shit. And I'm like, hey, we're in California. We're not in Texas or even Arizona or whatever, where the speed limit is 70 or 80 for big trucks. The speed limit here is 55. And, like I said, if I'm on the highway out in the middle of nowhere, I'll bump it up to 60 or 62, but I'm not going to go 70 or 75 or more. That's crazy. I think it's crazy. And then especially when you can see traffic slowing up ahead of you. So I'll slow up because I want to get my distance between the traffic ahead of me. And then some 18 wheeler just barrel on through like he doesn't see those cars in front of us. What's he doing? He doesn't see there's a bunch of cars up there and you can see red lights, like brake lights. Well, why are you just busting ass around me? Maybe you should be slowing up too, you know? I don't get these guys. They act like they act like they're driving a four wheeler. You're not driving a four wheeler. You're driving an 18 wheeler. You know, for God's sakes. So, anyhow, just want to say real quick. Anybody who's watching this, please like and hit the subscribe button. I'm up to 329 subscribers. We've gained about 30 subscribers, I think, in the last week or so. And that little chime was my dash cam, because back in the back we got a bit kind of a jolt all of a sudden, and from the people unloading the trailer, and it set off the dash cam. But anyhow, so yeah, like, share, subscribe, and appreciate that. Appreciate getting the new subscribers up to 329. The goal is to hit 500. Wouldn't that be awesome if we could hit 500? So let me just check this real quick, and do that. And so we got a lot of stuff going on. We got safety stuff going on next week with all of the DOT officers. So drivers, if any drivers watching this, be careful. 10th through the 16th, be extra careful. But you should always be careful, all the time, right? And let's see. Maybe I'll do a shot out here real quick. You can see where we're at, San Bernardino, California. It's a nice day. It's going to hit 97. It's about 80 degrees right now. And I'm actually in a offloading area. This is just a building that has a big warehouse. They don't have like a regular, more traditional kind of loading dock where you back up to a dock and the dock is raised about level with the back of the trailer. I'm just sort of in this back driveway, and they're offloading it with pallet jacks, and then handing it off to a forklift. So that's my deal here today at this place here in San Berdo. And so you can actually see, maybe I don't think I'll get in trouble for showing this. I don't know. But over here is a container, the storage containers, and I don't know if you can hear what's going on in the back. Here's a warehouse kind of thing over here. Going back, the kind of hopefully everyone's hopefully, I guess we're back. Are we back? So that was a little tour there of where I'm at. Not really a tour, but a little pan there. But I'm not sure, a stickler, and say, yeah, Dems could have made abortion into law in 2008, 2010. We had the Congress, we had a majority in Congress, not a super majority, we just had a simple majority, like, for about 45 days, and they really were working on the Affordable Care Act, and they got a few things through. They got they got the infrastructure. They got what was Obama's one call? It wasn't Build Back Better. It was whatever his deal was, and they got a few of those things through and stuff like that. And then they went back to being basically a tie, and the obstructionism from the Republicans. So, yeah, it went out for a minute there. Um, so we really haven't had, it's been pretty. That would have been pretty hard to do in 2008, 2009. Actually, 2009 because Obama didn't take office until 2009. So 2008 was Bush. Wasn't going to happen then. Um, and by the time 2010 came around, we didn't have the majority anymore. So we got ACA, uh, we got a lot of stimulus packages through to because we were coming out of one of the worst economies ever in American history through from George W. Bush. We were probably this close from going into a depression. We were in a great recession, and so Obama was able to. He was working on that, and so I guess it's to go back and say we should have done it then, we should have done this, done that, but I don't blame Obama administration or the Dems during that time at all for not codifying, you know, Roe v. Wade or abortion or whatever. So what we got to do now is we got to vote. We got to vote blue. We got to pick up seats in the Senate. We got to keep the House, and then we can do that. Now is the time, right? Now is the time. Well, I mean, November. I really do. I think that this Roberts Court has really, unleashed something that the Republicans are going to regret. For many years, people would say, the Republicans aren't going to overturn Roe because then they'll have nothing to run on. Well, they've got other things to run on, but that's one of their main campaign, issues, right? And so now they've done it. They've overturned it. I think turnout by Democrats, and I think we're going to keep the House. I think we're going to pick up some seats in the Senate, and then we're going to be able to. I think we will be able to codify it. Probably next year. Um, probably in 2023. You know? So, and we can look back and say, yeah, RBG, she should have. But like I say, I remember, and if you're honest with yourself, you probably thought that too. I don't mean you specifically, Kinky Streets or anybody, but I mean in general, almost everybody, even Trump thought Hillary was going to win. On the night of the election, he didn't prepare anything. He was just as shocked as everybody. I think he was. I could just see him sitting back in his office or whatever. He's thinking, "Oh shit, we did it. Now what? Now what are we gonna do?" But let that be a lesson. Hopefully, RBG will be a lesson uh, to future justices that not to take those things for granted and think, well, I could just wait a couple more years and then or a year or whatever, and and wait for to do it under this. She wanted to do it under the first woman president. You know, hopefully that will be a lesson learned for the future. That you just never know what's going to happen. You just never know. And the entire Democratic Party should take that to heart too. Just and not thinking you've got a Hillary Clinton and it's a slam bang. All the polls are saying she's going to win by a long shot, by a big margin. You really you got to have you got to play it like you got to always play it like it's close because it seems like it always does turn out to be close. Always, for one reason or another, it turns out to be close. And even though it shouldn't be, like, as far as I'm concerned, I don't know. I think Al Gore should have beat Bush in a landslide. He ended up beating him by 500 and something votes in Florida, right? But I don't know why that race was so close. Bush is another marble mouth moron. Why was he getting? I can understand the base voting for him, but I don't understand the so-called independents voting for him, or the undecideds voting for him, or even if Democrats voted for him. I don't know. I don't understand that. Still don't understand that. I don't understand now. Obama beat McCain pretty handily. Sir, and some people think the only reason that Romney lost was that audio that came out about him with the 46%, right? If it hadn't been for that, then he might have won. And that's ridiculous. Why would that be even that close? So it came down to some, waiter or whatever making an audio of Romney talking about the 46%, who were just, what was he saying? They were just like, taking government money or whatever it was. I forget the exact details, but it shouldn't be that close. It shouldn't have ever been that close. And